Yom Tov of Shavuos. We worked very hard the last 7 weeks. It was 42 days already. And for sure, the results of this hard work we're gonna feel it. It's not every hard work somebody does, somebody puts into any subject in the world. Could be his business, could be ruchnius when he deals with every effort is highly appreciated, high above, and for sure we don't always see the results right away, but everything we do is important, is appreciated by Hashem. We have to remember that Hashem is up there looking at us, and He's proud of us, all the hard work we're putting into our life, our children's education, our davening, our learning, our business, everything. So it is known from Hasidic books that Shabbos after the Yom Tov still have the environment, the energy, the bracha of the Yom Tov that passed. It's called, if you're holding, let's say we're forwarding a little bit to Shabbos after Shavuos. In Yiddish, it will call Shabbos noch Shavuos. Right? The Shabbos noch in Yiddish means after. So Shabbos noch Yom Tov is actually the hargasha, the feeling of the Yom Tov itself. By the way, in Yiddish, noch, the word noch plays two meanings. It plays for the meaning of after, and it plays for the meaning more. So if we now, Shabbos noch Shavuos is going to be Shabbos more Shavuos. That's Shabbos after Yom Tov. But other Hasidic masters holding that the Shabbat before the Yom Tov is also holding the light of the Yom Tov, which is going to come ahead of us. Actually, in a week's time, we're going to hold the Yom Tov of Shavuos. And so we're very proud to honor the Holy Shabbos of just around the corner from us, just tomorrow night, with another celebration, another like a wedding that we're going to attain with the Shabbat, and we're all looking forward very much for that. People sometimes say that 2 days of Yom Tov are very hard on them. It's hard, and I get it. I understand a lot of preparations, especially for the women in the kitchen, and the food arrangements, and to freeze the next portion for the next day. And if you have 2 days in Shabbos, so it's like 3 days of celebration, but it's a very hard work. People sometimes get a little upset, a little bothered from that. Here on Shavuos, there's something very interesting going to happen on this particular Yom Tov. It is known Moshe Rabbeinu went up to the clouds, to the mountain to receive the Torah. That happened on the 6th of Sivan. And to some other opinions, it happened another day later. There's a machlekes. There's a separation, a disagreement within the Chachamim on which day was the Torah given. Everybody agrees, says the Gemara, that the Torah was given on Shabbos. The day of the week was Shabbat. But which day of the month was that? There is not for sure. Is this someone on the class saying something? Hello? Everybody can hear me?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so I'll call them later. I think she's trying to call him. Okay, I'll call you later. Okay, so that's good. So, okay, so the question is if the Torah was given on the 49th day or on the 50th day. When you have 2 days of celebration, Yom Tov, Shavuos, you're actually falling on you're following both opinions. because we're having 49 days and 50th day. That's the Shavuos. So there's actually it's a big schus to make sure we're falling on the day that either day, either the 50th or the 49th. So we're good to go. We're Yotze Dechova, both opinions. I want to also do the halacha that we usually do. I really have to apologize. I'm like running in Toronto from place to place. I had a very small time to prepare, but there is a nice halacha that deals with when you can make somebody else yotze, when you're doing the mitzvah for someone else. I'll give you an example why the issue came up. I was having breakfast with someone, and he said to me he had to go, and by benching Birkat Hamazon, he said to me, please keep me in mind for your Birkat Hamazon. So I didn't know what to do. How can I bench Birkat Hamazon for someone who's gone already? He's not here. How can I have him in mind in Birkat Hamazon that the obligation is to do Birkat Hamazon at the place where you ate the bread, you ate the meal? So it came to me that there is mitzvahs we can do for someone else. Usually, it's if you have a, let's even for the simplest meaning, if you have an apple and you make the bracha over the apple, and someone else is listening to you right next to you, and he have the intention to be covered by your bracha, and you have the intention to make the bracha for him, so he's included in your bracha, and he can eat the apple after you make the bracha without him needing to say the bracha. So that's one example of the unity that Jews can have together, doing something that I'm doing it for you, on your behalf. That's something amazing for itself, that we can be so connected as Jews that today, especially today's time, where the separation appears to be so harsh and so overwhelming over the media here, there. So first of all, we have to remember, just on a side note, that media works very hard to elevate the level of excitement. That's how they gain their parnasa. I don't care that a Jew can get a parnasa from that, but why on my account? Why am I supposed to listen to all the trash that people are, the newsletters, the news and the media and the television and the 20,000 TV channels that you can choose? It's crazy. So we have to understand it's exaggerated. That's one thing for sure. Number two, I live in Israel. I'll tell you the truth. There's not really a clash. There's a lot of love, a lot of respect. In some case, some groups has disagreements, so they show it out loud. Fine. It's not the whole picture. It's not the whole picture. So the halacha goes as follows. By the way, next Thursday, we would have to make the Eruv Tafshilin. I think we're about to finish maybe in 5 more minutes, because we've done the Tsfat Chaim, the 18 minutes. So Eruv Tafshilin would allow you to cook from Friday to Shabbos. It's like something, go look it up, ask the rabbi, what does it mean exactly, the mixing of the foods, Eruv Tafshilin. That allows, because we're not supposed to cook from Shabbos, from Yom Tov to Shabbat, but with that gathering of, we specify two types of foods together, and that's what we one or two. Yeah, two types of food, and we're counting on that that we can cook from Yom Tov to the next Shabbos following, which usually you're not supposed to do. So if someone is not present, let's say you're in Toronto, and you have somebody in Thornhill, and you wanna make this mitzvah for Eruv Tafshilin, or let's say he's like 2 blocks away from you. You want to make the mitzvah of mixing these foods together. You want him to count on your Eruv, on your mitzvah, this specific special mitzvah of Eruv Tafshilin. Then he can be Yoitze, he can count on your on your Eruv Tavshilin, even though he's not with you in the house, even he's not like, even if he does not have intention for that he can count on your mitzvah. And if you forgot, so the rabbi of the city will have him included. So everybody, again, we see the unity is one thing we have to remember, that we are united. A few days ago, I was by somebody's house, and there were guests coming over, and a caregiver of one of the guests is a Nigerian woman, black Nigerian woman. And they asked me to say some divrei Torah. So I mentioned the Midrash that it was Thursday, and I said to them that tomorrow night I'm invited to a wedding. A wedding on Friday night? How come? I said, yes, listen to the Midrash. The Midrash says that when Hashem created the world, he created Sunday as a pair to Monday. And Hashem created Tuesday as a pair, as a match with Wednesday. And so on, Thursday is a match for Friday. Came Shabbos, said, God, I am left alone with no partner. So Hashem said to her, Am Israel, Knesset Israel, yeh ben zugech. The Am Israel, the nation of Israel, is going to be your bishet, your couple. So there's a wedding every Friday night. Remember, we're going to a wedding. We dress up our best clothes, Shabbos clothes. We wear the best hat, the best everything, the best suit, the best dress, the best foods. It's a celebration. It's a wedding every week. We're fortunate to be able to be in such a wedding. And so this, and then remember, we said the Kabbalat Shabbat, Boi Kala, come the queen, Shabbos Hakala, Shabbos Amalka, Shabbos the bride. Shabbos is the bride, and I am Am Israel. So it's a beautiful connection. So this Nigerian woman was so excited, was so uplifted. She was emotional. I could see she was emotionally very. She said to me, you know, what a beautiful story, what a beautiful insight you just mentioned. We have the same thing, she said. What do you have? She said in Nigeria, there are 3 major tribes. I forgot the names. I'm going to have it, maybe share it in the next few newsletters. This interesting story. He said, we also have, and we spoke about Shabbat. It's a time to go with the family. Nobody's bothered. There's peace of mind, tranquility. Nobody runs. No cell phones, no telephones, no television, no cars. We're just together, united with the Shabbos and the family. What could be better than this? So she said to me, we also have the same thing. I was surprised. I asked her, what do you have? She said, so she said that they belong to the one major tribe who is called the Israeli tribe of Nigeria, the Jewish tribe, so to speak. They're supposed to be, according to the Nigerian tradition, the leaders of the country. But now, because of some elections and they put the leader in jail, so there's a whole thing going on there, not getting into that. But this tribe, every year, once a year, they would go out to the forest, to the hills, maybe a cottage, something, whatever they have, and they stay out in the forest for 7 days. No phones, no cars, nothing, just together with the family or with the chevra they're involved with. And that's how they are, it's our Shabbos, she says, our Shabbat, she said to me. So it was a nice insight to see, who knows, we have 10 lost tribes somewhere out there in the world, and they definitely have left an imprint on the nations. And this is something that's maybe, so one last thing before we say good Shabbos, is the machlekes. The world is full of disagreements. Everybody feels that every day, every hour almost. It's in the house, it's in the neighborhood. If not there, it's in myself, within me. I'm also not always in the right focus. I want to do right, I want to do left, I want to do. We're not always on top of business. But when Shabbat comes in, it's an opportunity to unite. we unite with the family again, as I said. We also unite with ourselves. We have to calm ourselves down from all the harshness, all the too many thoughts that we have in our heads. As Rabbeinu Nachman always said, that you have to work on yourself, not to be, as it's called in Yiddish, Übertrachten. Übertrachten means like overthinking, thinking too much, thinking too many thoughts and what that. It's not what we should do. We should really connect to focus on what we're doing, and if we don't know what to do, then Reb Nachman have another advice: make sure that what you do, inspect it with the eye, what gonna cause Hashem more satisfaction? What Hashem is gonna like more? If I'm gonna go right or if I'm gonna go left, and then you can choose. You can decide what to do according to that format. So, fine. Thanks again for joining. I wish everybody good Shabbos, and the whole world should be peaceful and quiet. No wars anywhere. All the harshments should be sweetened, God willing, in the schut of Shabbos. And I wish you Shabbos Shalom and Vorach. And Hashem, next week.
Shavuos.
It's Thursdays, Erev Yom Tev. It's going to be tight. Whoever's going to come in, I'm going to be there from Tsfat, God willing, and we'll see you, Bezrat Hashem, in good health and good spirit.